holder, okay, that's why it says up here, other than a person having the rights of a holder in due course, that would be a holder. A holder in due course takes free of any claims. This is why when we go in court, we'll say, do you have a claim against me? I'll come into court and I'll say, I'm the holder in due course. Here's a third party intervener making a special appearance as an authorized representative for the defendant. I'm the holder in due course. This instrument, all the proceeds and everything belongs to me. I'm the holder in due course of all this property. You're just the holder, and I can come in with a claim. So I'm a third party intervener. That's under Rule 24. I'm coming in with a claim. Okay, and my claim is superior to your claim, and I got evidence of that because I got a UCC1 filed, and I've introduced it into evidence that demonstrates I put everybody on notice, okay, because they have to have notice that you have a superior claim. As a matter of fact, when you read this right here, up here, in holder in due course, it will tell you this, all right, down here at about on the notice section, it says, right here. Right here. B. Notice of discharge of a party other than discharge in an insolvency proceeding is not notice of a defense under subsection A. The discharge is effective against the person who became a holder in due course without notice of the discharge. Public filing or recording of a document does not of itself constitute notice of a defense, claim in recoupment, or claim to the instrument. So just because you filed it in the commercial registry, this is why you got to read this stuff and see what it's saying. All right, you got to send it to these people. Not only do we file our UCC1 in the commercial registry, but we also got to send it to the Treasury Department too. You got to send it to the court. You got to put it, the sheriff, the governor, everybody, put everybody on notice. They have to have notice. You just filing it is not notice. They do the same thing in court. When you file a case, that's not giving notice. You got to send it to the attorney too. You got to send a copy to the attorney too. You just filing it in the court case doesn't constitute notice. They got to have notice. So you go up to the courthouse, you file your case. When you sue someone, you go up there and file it, but then you have to have them served. They have to get notice. So now you're filing it. Now you got to serve them. You got to give them notice. And I've heard people use process servers to get this to people too. That's something else you can use. Use the process server if you want to spend the money. All right. So you can see right here that you have to have a claim to an instrument. Okay. Now, let's look at 3305A, which is defenses and claims and recoupment. Except as otherwise provided in this section, the right to enforce the obligation of a party to pay an instrument is subject to the following. All right. 1, a defense of the obligor. Obligor is you, the person who, it's the straw man. But the obligor is the person that owes the money. The obligee is the person who the money is owed to. So a defense of the obligor based on 1, infancy of the obligor, to the extent it is a defense to a simple contract. 2, meaning he's unable to contract, infancy. 2, duress, lack of legal capacity or illegality of the transaction, which under the law nullifies the obligation of the obligor. 3, fraud that induced the obligor to sign the instrument with neither knowledge nor reasonable opportunity to learn of its character or its essential terms. This is called fraud in the factum. Fraud in the factum is the term for that. Okay, and number 4, discharge of the obligor in an insolvency proceeding. Okay, these are defenses and claims and recoupment. All right, so if somebody's trying to enforce an obligation, it's subject to these. Oh, wow. Meaning these are defenses. Number 2, a defense of the obligor stated in another section of this article, or a defense of the obligor that would be available if the person entitled to enforce the instrument were enforcing a right to payment under a simple contract. And number 3, which is one we really want to pay attention to, especially all you foreclosure people, a claim in recoupment of the obligor against the original payee of the instrument if the claim arose from the transaction that gave rise to the instrument, but the claim of the obligor may be asserted against the transferee of the instrument. That means it got transferred to one person and then it gets transferred to another person. Okay, you still can assert your defenses against that. I got a whole paper that was written to the Financial Accounting Standards Board where they're talking about this, and I'm going to do a video on it. Only to reduce the amount owing of the instrument at the time that the action is brought. Okay, this is a set off. And if you look on the back of your a contract on a car contract, there is a section on there called claims and defense notice, and that is not for you. That is for, because they securitize that contract, but that's giving notice to any subsequent purchaser of that contract that you, as the obligor, have some defenses, and the major defense is set off. You're going to see all this. This thing is, once you read this over and over and over again, it makes more and more sense.
Okay, what's that next one? Okay, that's part two. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm have to go to about 2 o'clock, man.
Yeah, I think I'm even. Yesterday I was just wide awake because I had taken that nap and I was just wide open. Tonight I'm a little bit tighter. It's-
I mean,
Huh?
you want to stop right now?
Um, let's see. How long is this one? Let's do um you know what, we can because we still got a lot of heavy stuff to cover tomorrow. We can stop here.
So 9 o'clock be good for you?
Huh?
9 o'clock tomorrow?
I can't hardly hear you.
Sorry about that. Not 9 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go ahead and start at 9 because I know I was late today.
Okay, that works, man. Cause it's starting to hit me just hard right now. I was like, okay,
It's starting to hit you now.
yeah.
I done got a snack and all that stuff. It's starting and it's still starting to hit me.
All right, just so when you get up, just if you can send those PDF files, and I'll look at them during the day.
Okay. I think after we get through with this because we're in section 5 right now. I think after we get through with section 5, we probably we probably need to actually start our paperwork. Go back to the first section
Yep.
and start putting our paperwork and packets and stuff together.
Yeah, that'll work. I was just thinking about that too.
Because we got to get it done.
Yeah. So how many? What's the total number of sections?
Huh?
What's the total number of sections?
Uh, 5 sections.
Oh, this is the last section.
Yeah, this is the last section.
Oh, okay.
Because after this
All right,
one,
that's good. So we're making good.
we've been covering
Good
a
time.
lot, man.
Yeah.
Because after the UCC 3, um, we got the, I guess, order for lawful way. I don't know what the heck that's used for, but I'll find out tomorrow. And the master discharge and indemnity bond. So we got part 1 and part 2 tomorrow. I'm thinking, let's see. Dang, that'll be all the videos, man.
Wow. Okay, that'll work.
Because this is not actually part of the second. Uh, Section 4 is the second Treasury packet, right? So I'm wondering what this master
No,
discharge and
this is
indemnity
for the
bond
second
is
treasury
for.
packet.
I mean, I know it's for, but I wonder how we're supposed to use it.
Hmm. Well, I mean,
Huh?
that's gonna be the one that's gonna be the set off one.
Oh, the set off one.
Right. That's what they use to set off stuff.
So the bond that we sent it to the Treasury Department, what is that for?
I mean, in the other packet.
Hmm.
That's to set off. That's to pay for set off any debts that we have currently or that's owed under the Treasury Department. The bond we send with this packet is the one that's going to be used for um creating those discharge bonds. So this is a master discharge and indemnity bond. So
So
this is the
this
bond that you'll be referencing when you be doing your discharges.
so this is supposed to be the big bond.
Right.
This is the $250 billion bond.
Right.
Okay. I thought we send that bond to the Treasury Department.
You do.
What this?
Remember, there's two packets. There's well, actually, technically, there's three packets. There's the first packet that goes out, and then you have the that goes to the Treasury Department, and then the next packet that goes out goes to the Treasury Department in Puerto Rico.
Hmm,
Now, the question I have is that in the first packet, is that a certified mail or is that a registered mail?
register mail.
Okay. So technically, it's three registered mails we're using: the first packet and the two packets that go out to the Secretary of State in Puerto Rico.
Right.
All right. Because sometimes you would say certified mail. I say nah.
Well, the second package to the Treasury Department is it's gonna be the second registered mail. It's gonna be that second registered mail thing. The first one is gonna be that first